Hello everyone, this is the unboxing style video for the Biology 2420, but since this is going up on YouTube, even if you're not a part of 2420, you will be able to see this. Now, take a look at these plates here. As you can see, there's not much on here. This one right here was from our door that leads into the prep room. This one is from the handle of one of our media fridges. And as you can see, there's not much growth at all after 24 hours. This is to be expected considering the state that we're in right now. With the coronavirus, we are disinfecting our door handles daily with ethanol, and we are hitting them with back down once a week. So that means that there's not really going to be much on those surfaces. So while this is supposed to be an isolation streak, it's not really an isolation streak because there's not much here. We're still going to poke around a bit. You have two colonies here, two colonies here. Probably these three are the same species. This one looks like it might be a mold of some kind. But we're going to poke around a bit and see what we have. Now, off to the side here, I have a loop and a needle. You're just going to have to trust me that I have fire off here to the side and that I will be disinfecting the loop and needle as we use them. We're going to start with this plate here. Let's open it up. So it looks like we have two colonies here, both of which are a white color, both of which are circular, and the margin on both of them is smooth. The surface appears to be a basic upwards curve, maybe umbonate, as I look at this. For you guys as students, do the best you can with looking at this, as well as your pictures. Maybe you see something different that I don't. That can happen. But let's take a poke here. Now, by poking it, I'm able to see the texture of it in some ways as well. If it's something like the genus Mycobacterium, it's almost flaky and dry, sort of like a dry cheese. Whereas there are some other species, particularly the Bacillus species, that sort of have a butyrious texture, which is sort of like a buttery texture, and it looks significantly different. I'm just poking around and seeing what type of texture I think this might be. And I think it is let's just take one final look here. Okay, so it's not mucoid. Mucoid, if you touch a mucoid colony and come up, there is a string of mucus, or colony growth, I should say, that is left there. So this is not a mucoid. The texture itself, I would say that it's most likely slightly mucoid. It's not granular and it's not dry, so I'd say slightly mucoid, with a smooth margin on the edge here. It's hard to see, and as you can see, there's one single colony. Yeah, that's what I'd go for both of these. Sometimes poking through these, maybe it's a little mucoid, slightly mucoid. It's not all bacteria are exactly perfect in what they want you to be. For some of these, say the optical properties, we need it to be put on one of our machines. We can take a look at that if you were to come into the lab, but if you're not in the lab, you don't need to worry about the optical properties itself. Chromogenesis, or color, you will have to worry about because different bacteria have different colors. Now I'm going to disinfect my tools and we're going to start up the next plate. Now this is our second plate, and this plate is from the door to our media fridge. And if we take a look here, we again have two colonies. I'm going to pull out a needle so we can point to it. A colony here and a colony there. This may be a colony, but I don't think it is. I think that's just a bit of debris. And we have two different colonies here. This here is definitely a butyrious colony, which means a buttery texture. So I would say this is Butrius. For both of them, I would say that the margin is smooth. Uh, they're an umbonate to maybe an entire top part. See, here's where it gets a little odd. I would say that both of them are probably a convex elevation, but there is, especially in the second one, this one here, there is a case that can be made for a pulvinate, and there is a case to be made for umbonate as well. I would say it's a circular form, convex elevation, entire margin. This one is a Butrius texture, sort of buttery. And this one, maybe a little buttery, maybe a little mucoid. It really does depend on you. I would probably say that that is slightly mucoid to buttery. I'd accept both as a proper answer. Once again, looking at the optical properties, really can't do that here. The size, small, medium, I'd say that there are three small colonies. This one was a small one. The two on the other plate were small, and this is a medium-sized colony. A large-sized colony would take up a fairly large amount of the plate itself. There are ways of measuring colony size. We need to put those on a machine that we have here. It's the same machine that allows us to look at optical properties. And that gives us a size of the individual colonies. You don't have to worry about that for your worksheet. For this worksheet, you can use basic descriptive language rather than quantitative language.